Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today's goal is to drive home the STI. Okay, that's the goal. This morning I dropped off the heads at the head shop. They are getting gone through right now. They should be done sometime today, so that's the only holdup is the heads. Of course, the bottom end's already built. And then right now I'm heading into the parts store. I'm just gonna grab engine oil, some spark plugs, and a filter. I think that's about all I need. So yeah, hopefully the heads come back soon. It's already 1:47 and we need them back soon to meet our goal, to meet our deadline of driving it home. I don't know why I'm like this, but I'm like this. My mom and dad made me like this. It is currently 3:30 p.m. I just got a phone call from the head shop. Heads are just now finished up, so I'm gonna go pick those up right now. I'm gonna get coffee, probably a very big coffee, and I have a Bobby date. I have a date with my girlfriend Bobby tonight at 9 p.m. I gotta be home. So we have a few hours to get this whole entire engine rebuilt, like fully assembled, and in the car and hopefully running. My goal is to drive it to the date, but of course I don't wanna F anything up. Let's see what we can do. Heads are acquired. Time for coffee. We now have a 100% complete engine. Intake manifolds back on the engine. All we have to do is get it on the engine hoist, put on the clutch and flywheel, and then we can go ahead and get it dropped in the car. I would say we're about 2.5 to 3 hours out from the first start. So things are moving solid, things are moving smooth. I'm trying not to work super fast to where I keep messing things up. I have messed a few things up and had to redo it, but I'm trying not to do that because it's just wasting time. Engine is in the freaking car. First thing I always like to do, just because I've made this mistake before, is get that throwout bearing clipped in, put the slave on, come inside, and push in the clutch. I've had to pull the entire car back apart before because, and it happened on an Evo if I remember correctly. Got the whole car done, came inside to push in the clutch, throwout bearing popped out of the clutch, and something was messed up with the throwout bearing clip, so the whole car had to come back apart. So now I always just do that right away to make sure we do not have to disassemble everything. All right, I'm gonna run a time lapse of getting this entire engine bay back in one piece. I'm excited. We're driving this thing home. And just like that, the car is 100% done and should be ready for the first start. We got our engine oil in, water in for now, just in case we have any leaks. It's much easier to deal with water over coolant. Crank sensor's unplugged. I'm gonna hop in the car, crank it over until the oil light turns off on the dash, meaning we have actual oil pressure. And if it never does, then I'll pull the turbo oil feed line off and just turn it over until oil comes out of there. We did pack the oil pump, as you guys saw in the previous video of building the bottom end, so the oil light should turn off very quick. Also, I found something out earlier that is extremely interesting. I'll explain after we fire this thing up. I think I forgot to plug in the starter trigger wire. I've definitely done that before. Actually, I know that's what I forgot. All right, that should be good. Oil light just went off. Let's fire this thing out. Plug in the crank sensor, and we should be good. for a first start. This is going way too fast, way too easy, way too easy. I'm curious what's gonna go wrong. Okay, let's do it. This is the scariest part of a human's life, is the first start at a brand new, untouched, 0 mile engine, zero second engine. All right. She fired. Give it a little bit of gas, see what happens. All right, check engine light, read codes. Crank position sensor, we already plugged that back in, so we should be good. Let me reset the ECU. Injector. She fired right up after a few tries. I'm guessing it was just the fuel rails and lines being low on fuel, but as soon as it started up, it started misfiring for a cylinder, and it's showing a cylinder 4 injector code. Is it not plugged in? The car is running good and it sounds nice and healthy, other than, of course, the misfire. So I'm gonna swap injectors from 2 and 4 and see if the code follows that injector. The injector is plugged in, everything looks good there. Maybe got dirty when it's sitting out for the 24 hours this engine is out of the car, it seems like. But it's a possibility, so I'm gonna go ahead and swap 2 and 4 around, see if the code follows to cylinder number 2, which I'm guessing it will. So I was correct. We have one bad injector on the car. The code went from cylinder 4 to cylinder 2 when I swapped injector from 4 to 2. Unfortunately, I don't have any other STI injectors here at the shop. I have some back at the house. So I guess I'm gonna hop on the bike, go for a rip back to the house, grab a replacement injector, swap it in, and we should technically be good to go. Every car always has one problem right off the bat, and I'm glad and thankful it's just this. This is our problem for this build, is a bad injector, which takes effectively 12 minutes to replace. Don't ask why this is at the house. Literally makes no sense, but it is. No, it's not. issue number 1 is fixed. We'll see if we have any more issues tonight, but I don't think we are going to. Very, very nice OEM-ish build on this car, stock turbo and all that good stuff, so there's not much that can go wrong. I'm very, very curious why the injector was bad. Also, what I was trying to show you guys, or what I was gonna tell you guys earlier that I found was very, very interesting, and I already loaded a different map on the car, but when I would go on the access port here, let's go check this out. So if you go down to tune and change ECU map, there was no maps loaded up on this car. This was completely blank, so there was no like aftermarket map loaded up on the car. And when you go into show current map, there was nothing loaded up there. And of course this car has some decent mods. It has an intake, a full exhaust including downpipe from an intercooler. It's got a lot of stuff on it that would require a tune, so that could be part of the reason why this thing did blow up. I'm not saying that's the reason, but it very well could be, because like I said, it has a decent amount of parts on it, and it appears that it never had a tune on it. It just had the stock tune on it. So what I ended up doing for temporary until we can have Josh beta tune this car, hopefully one day, is I just went on Cobb's website and got an off-the-shelf map and loaded it up on here, just so I know it has some sort of tune on there for at least some of the parts that are on the car. Of course, it's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. Ran the car, got up to proper coolant temps, shut it off. I'm gonna check the oil, make sure the coolant system is bled and topped off, and we can go on a very first drive. Other than a little bit of water that spilled out when I was bleeding the coolant system, I don't see any other leaks as of yet. That could change when we get some miles on it. All right, oil level was good. It is dark out, but we are gonna go hit our very, very, very first drive. I'm excited. This is the fastest turnaround I've ever had on a blown up car. I think it was 3 days total from running with a rod knock to now running again without a rod knock. I'm pretty proud. I'm very excited. Couple things I'm noticing right off the bat, other than the car being absolutely amazing and running perfect, is it has a short shifter in it, which I do not like. Surprisingly enough, I am a big fan of a lot of short shifters, but on an STI, I prefer a stock shifter over any shifter I've ever put in an STI, which I don't know if I've ever done that, to be honest, but I just prefer a stock STI shifter. Look at the throw on this thing. It is super, super short. Cooling temps are beautiful, staying right around 185 to 190. Granted, it's not all that hot out, so tomorrow may be a different story, but we did bleed the coolant system with the water that's in it. Of course, tomorrow I'm gonna drain that water out, put coolant in it, provided we have no leaks. And I'm gonna put about 50 miles. Oh, we have a TPMS light on. I'm gonna put about 50 miles on this oil, and then I'll go back to the shop, drain the oil out, and cut the filter, make sure we're good. And then we're gonna do the 500 miles. So what I do is 50 miles, change it, cut the filter, 500 miles, change it, cut the filter, and then if everything looks good, we just run it from there on out. Braking, I don't do anything crazy. I'm just gonna drive the car, of course not beat the shit out of it, and just get some miles on it before we go to Josh and have it turned up a little bit. I'm excited. I've always wanted a nice, simple VA STI. I don't have any big plans with this car. I do want to keep it somewhat stock and reliable. We'll see. Things always change. I do feel like I'm smelling a little bit of fuel in the cabin. Trying to see if we have any fuel leaks out here. I could just be being paranoid because it's a brand new build, but I feel like I smell something. Yep, sure enough, we got a fuel leak back there on an injector. Oh, damn, that's pretty bad. I don't know how I didn't catch this at the shop. It's on the passenger side, which is where the turbo and of course the up pipe and all that is. So it's a little bit worrisome. It's kind of a bad spray as well. I took my chances and limped her back to the shop. Thankfully we weren't that far. I didn't really want this thing to catch on fire, but didn't really have another choice at the time, so we made it back fine. Let's go ahead and get this leak fixed. So I loosened the rail, wiggled the injector a little bit, tightened the rail, and it's good to go. So my presumption is it was just a pinched O-ring, but yeah, no more leak. Let's go cruise. All right, we made her home perfectly fine, safe and sound. This is the ultimate test. Park on the slab overnight and we'll see how much she leaks tomorrow. I'm gonna wrap up today's video right here. Everything that we installed in today's video. I'll just link everything that we used for this entire engine build down in the description box below. Remember, if you pick it up on MAP, you can use my discount code Devin Niemela to save 5% off all eligible parts. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Peace out, my good friends. Good night. It's late. I'm going to bed.